All right, good morning, everyone. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what we discussed in last class. Um, we first talked about how computer works, and we discussed like what you write on the very high level of abstraction and how it is executed at the semiconductor level. And then we discussed what is an algorithm and computer program using an example of a Stephen Hawking scenario. And then we brainstorm around the activity to develop a digital system, computational system, where we actually experienced, started thinking computationally, and it was a brain teaser activity. Then we finally discussed that we will be learning Python as a programming language in this course. So let's proceed ahead with Python basics. So programming in general, so computer programs are everywhere. It consists of instructions that are executed one at a time. And all computer programs, no matter which language it is written in, it consists of some common main components. Okay, so what are those components? You can actually ask. Let's try asking from generative AI. So whenever you see a slide like this in my lectures, you are supposed to be doing it yourself. But I also have some screenshots taken, which I will be discussing with you. So let's see how AI responded to this question. So first I tried with CoPilot by asking like what are the main components of a computer program. So it throws off this information on the screen. It says that there are a couple of different main components: an input, processing logic, output, and then data storage, control flow, comments, and documentation. So what we ask initially is what are the main components, okay? And it says the input, which means that the computer program should take an input. It could be in any form, like it could be coming from the user, it could be coming from an external sensor, external signal, or anything else. Then whatever computer program takes as an input, it has to process it. It has to work around whatever it is supposed to be doing, and then it should produce an output. It could be in any form. It could be any form in the form of a message to the user on a screen. It could be writing the data into the file. It could be generating a voltage signal, whatever. Okay. And then this CoPilot also says that it has like fourth, fifth, and sixth as a main component, which is kind of wrong. Actually, this is what we need to analyze. Like when you are using generative AI, even for the first time, or you use it regularly, whatever, you should be able to identify whether the information that is giving to you is correct or not. Okay, so you can see that in processing logic, we develop some like a decision making logic, which is like here it is mentioned that, and it is also mentioned here in different conditional statement in different form. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are using or asking this question for the first time without having any prior information, you may get caught up here because you may consider that all of these are the main components, which is not true. And this is why we need to understand, we need to acquire the required qualification to be able to filter out what is correct and what is wrong. And if you recall the example that I gave you, if you're not able to do that, then the chaos like that T app, the moment dating app, may happen. Okay. So after posing all this information, generative AI usually pose a question like, how would you want to proceed? Like, would you like a visual diagram or a simple example program? And you may interact, as I did, interact with by saying yes, please, and it throw off an example, which again, if you're a first-time user, first-time learning, you may not be able to understand what it says, the syntax in terms of syntax. And then it gives a visual diagram. Again, it again poses the next question: would you like to generate a graphical version of this diagram? And again, I interacted with yes, please, and it gives me this the exact visual representation of the code that it generated in the previous interaction. So it says that a computer program, it gives an example of when user wants to convert degree Celsius temperature into Fahrenheit. So for example, user provides a temperature in degree Celsius. There must be some processing, like an equation or a formula, which converts from degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, and then it displays something on the screen, in the form of Fahrenheit. Then it shows also some other additional data storage and control flow components. So as I mentioned that you should be able to identify whether the information given provided by generative AI is absolutely correct or not. You should be able to filter out what is correct and what is important. Okay.